Just what it seemed like we're gonna have to wait for a figure of this guy or this guy, maybe even this guy, before we got one of the most important core characters of not just this Batman Hush storyline, but in the entire mythos of Batman. Today was the day we finally got one of the most anticipated figures from MAFEX with their DC Comics line with the reveal of Tim Drake Robin. He looks awesome. This Hush figure is going to just work with any Batman storyline or any Batman collection. He looks great. He looks awesome. I am so ecstatic to finally see this figure and all of his Mayfex highly articulated glory. What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Figure Files. It is San Diego Comic Con week. I am hyped up, got my list together of all the stuff I want to see, all the things that are going to be dropping that I'm going to be doing all these reaction videos on, and then eventually come October, November, start griping because I love griping, talking about why are these figures coming to us so soon in so many droves. Hasbro, Mattel, etc. just does not care about our wallets whatsoever. But for now, it's a happy time. Tomorrow, Metacom toy exhibition kicks off officially. Now they have some stuff set up in the booths and some intrepid online photojournalists, including these damn toys and Gamma One Gear 5 stand, took a few photos to give us a sneak peek of what's in store coming up over the course of this next week. But that wasn't all the Mayfex news we got today, starting with the non-official official pre-order teases of what's coming probably in a couple days to pre-order officially on Big Bad Toy Store, my affiliate Entertainment Earth, and other online retailers. Is what's coming up really soon. Now, the trick with being a Mayfex collector is you're not always going to get anything that you want. There are only 2 releases each month, which means in some occasions there's just not going to be anything that you want. You know, there's many months that go by and I'm excited, like, all right, what are we getting Mayfex? And it's like, oh man, not quite as bad as being a PlayStation Network subscriber, where it's like, all right, what free games are coming this month? And it's like, come on, guys, these options are terrible. But there's so many things that I don't really care about. I'm really narrowed and focused on DC Comics. And for Mayfex, that means more Nightfall figures, more Batman Hush, Reign of the Superman. There's a whole litany, whole library of DC classic storylines that they could adapt and make into really amazing lines to do so many more DC figures, but we're still waiting. So that means it's kind of like having to do this waiting game between Star Wars, MCU options, Marvel comic options, even other superhero TV properties before it comes back around to some DC Comics figures that I do want. This month's releases are MCU, sort of kind of focus. I guess he's part of the MCU now, and a now defunct DC movie universe, which has no meaning anymore. Anyway, let's take a look at them. First up is a Zack Snyder Joker. And this is from the final scene of Zack Snyder's Justice League, the 4-hour extravaganza. Big fan. I enjoyed it a lot. But I don't really know why we need another figure from this. This thing is dead. DOA. And this Joker figure looks cool. I love the work they did on this face paint and all that good stuff. The smeared lipstick looks great. I love the detail with the cop badges tacked on, stapled. I don't even know how you would put those onto a bulletproof vest, but he's got them there. He also has clips. Why would you need clips? Because the Mayfex DC figure apparently can have guns. Maybe that's because it's an import. I don't know, but that's cool for people who actually want guns with their serial killer characters like Joker. He's got a ton of accessories, pretty fun stuff. I just don't know why he's up for getting made into a figure. Such an odd choice, especially when there's so many other ones. Maybe even a Nightfall Joker. That would have been really awesome to see. Next up is this guy. It's the Amazing Spider-Man 2, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. And I have no shame admitting that I did enjoy Amazing Spider-Man 2. I'm just wondering, are we going to see an Electro figure to go with this guy? Are we going to see a Gwen Stacy, Rhino even? I mean, this seems like a really interesting and weird one-off figure because, you're going to do one based off of a movie. You got to have some more because Spider-Man's already shown up in Spider-Man No Way Home, so there's no real reason to do yet another version of this guy. But here he is in all of his glory. Looks fine, but again, it's another month where it's a no for me dog in terms of picking up, making pre-orders for MAFEX figures. But there's some stuff on the horizon that's shown in these photos. Very grainy. I have to warn you in advance. They're not the high quality, top notch photos that hopefully we'll start seeing trickling in tomorrow. But there's some excitement here on this. So, first up, more Age of Apocalypse figures. And as you if you've been collecting them, this is kind of a weak spot for the Marvel Legends line where most of the figures they did weren't that great. The Build-A-Figure Colossus was awesome. Sugar Man's also really good, but some of those standard standalone figures weren't the best. Key Point, Magneto. I mean, he looks so much better from Mafex. This figure looks awesome. Cyclops, I just can't see a reason why I won't get this figure unless he's super tiny next to the Marvel Legend ones, because the Marvel Legends one use that abomination now. The Bucky Cap mold, which is so outdated, just didn't work. This figure looks so much better, even in really grainy photos. And then we've got X-Man. He looks good. And again, it's another figure where you use the Bucky Cap mold, a little small, those dainty feet make him really hard to stand. And this one looks like it could be just fine. And we saw Weapon X already, but he looks good. So we've got those figures coming from Age of Apocalypse. Next up, more X-Men goodness. We've got the regular X-Men. I'm trying to make out this. And of course, my eye doctor would be most upset that I could not make out this very fudgy, scratchy, grainy lettering there. Is it an X-Men 97 though? I wonder. Anyway, we've seen most of these figures. I was just curious that maybe they're re-releasing them under the X-Men 97 banner. There is a new figure here though. It's Jubilee. And I think she's got her rolled up sleeves. Again, these photos are just kind of bad because they're not the most high-end pictures. We should start seeing more tomorrow, but it does look like this jacket is soft goods like Gambit's. So that might give her an advantage over the Marvel Legends version. Also, if she's small, like the rest of these Mafex figures tend to be, she should fit in just fine with Marvel Legends. So I'm really excited to get better photos, better glimpses of Jubilee, because she could be an absolute definite pickup for me on this line because she would fit in so perfectly with my Marvel Legends. And we continue on, more figures from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We got T'Chaka, and he looks really cool. I love the work they did on his kente cloth here and all the detail. I mean, he just looks really well done. And then we've got Infinity Saga, original suit, Civil War version, Black Panther. That looks pretty nice. And then we've got the Infinity Gauntlet, Avengers Endgame version where he is running with the Hulk nanotech Iron Man gauntlet, and he's all set. He's running. That was really nice with that purple accent. So he looks really good. There's another photo I neglected to include here with Shuri over on the side. So we know she is also arriving as part of this line. So that's a cool addition for those of you who like Black Panther or Wakanda Forever. So cool stuff on that end. I think that was everything from the Marvel front. Actually, there's one more. Let's get to it. More Spider-Man stuff coming. So here's your Amazing Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man No Way Home, this suit. And then we got Spider-Man No Way Home, Tobey Maguire. See, like zoom in a little bit more on him. Looks really solid. I'm not quite sure that head sculpt is screaming Tobey Maguire, but it's fine. I like the Tom Holland head sculpt here. And we've already seen the Andrew Garfield. So is this the way they're releasing all these guys? I don't know. Then we've got the new version that we see at the end of No Way Home. I really like how bright that blue is. This figure looks really cool. Can't wait to see how that looks in more detail. I think this is the Far From Home because it looks like the black and red suit. So more Spider-Man goodness. And those figures really benefit from that extra articulation from them. So there you go. I know there's a lot of you who love the boys, so more of them are coming as well. So we've got Starlight the Deep. Oh man, I forgot what Jensen Ackles' character is called. It's been a minute. We've got our boy Homelander. We've got A Train. He looks really, really good. I think they did an awesome job with his costume. Queen Maeve. I love the fact that she can actually cross her arms in disgust. That was solid. And then we got Black Noir. So really nice job of getting out the boys, continuing to roll out more of those figures. Hopefully we see Hugh and more of those guys added to this mix as well, because it's not just about our superhero or super powered characters, not super, they're not heroic at all. So we've got them. They look pretty cool. So you'll be able to kind of build up to 7 at this point. So they look solid, good figures. And again, you can find some of those pretty cheap on Amazon now from MAFEX. So check those out. And then we got some DC offerings from their movie universe. And I guess one of these will continue on. It's Peacemaker, solid looking figure. And I mean, even with these photos, this is again not the best quality, but you can see that John Cena likeness, and that is really good. It's really solid there. So good looking figure. And then we got some more Suicide Squad additions. We got Bloodsport, Idris Elba's character. So can't quite make out all the detail, of course, because some of that's just going to get accomplished through the paint job. But the detail on the rest of his outfit, looks really solid and really good work there. I love all the detail they put into the uniforms. So really it's done and shown with care. And that continues on with those two figures that we'll be seeing more of, I suppose, as James Gunn continues on with his version of the DC universe. And then we've got another addition to the Hush lineup. And this time it's Ra's al Ghul. I'm kind of wondering if he should have a little bit more muscles, because Jim Lee didn't draw a scrawny, bare-chested Ra's al Ghul. So I'm wondering if they'll kind of tinker around. Clearly, this is early on. This is just the initial kind of grayscale render, or not render, the prototype. I'd love to see him with a little bit wider chest, though, just to get more of that buff Ra's al Ghul. That sculpt looks really awesome, though. That is solid work. I also showed a lighter blue Batman Hush figure. I don't know what the difference was with it. Let's get back to this guy, though. Tim Drake finally joins the line. His hair, I think, is a little bit off from how Jim Lee drew it. I don't really care, but I love this cape. I always thought the black on the outside with the yellow trim made a lot more sense for somebody hanging with Batman. We got his utility belt. The R might not be the same one that I kind of associate with Tim Drake, but still looks good. Got all these buckles here going up and down there. I read some complaints. People are going, maybe his torso's a little too long. I like to see him next to Batman. They tend to do their scale pretty well, so I don't think it'll be an issue where, like the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse version, he's looking basically eye to eye with Nightfall Batman. I don't think that's going to be a problem here. But yeah, this is a really good looking figure. Cannot wait to add him to the collection, and hopefully we'll get a lot more photos of him over the next few days. But I'm excited. We got Tim Drake. We got some Age of Apocalypse figures that I've got my eye on, and I'm really interested to see what they do with this Jubilee figure, because she might be another one that I grab too. But so much cool stuff coming from MAFEX. Just the tiny, tiny tip of the iceberg in terms of what's coming up the rest of the week. So I'll probably break this down a little bit more later on the week with better photos, but I just needed to get out here and talk about them because they look really great. So anyway, thank you so much as always for watching. Let me know what you guys think about these MAFEX reveals. As always, thank you. I appreciate all your support. This episode of Loud Figure Files has been filed.